Is it recording na ba? Hello? Hi guys, good afternoon, good day, good morning, or depending on the time that you are watching this video. Today we're going to discuss MS Excel naman. So last time, we've already discussed different techniques that can be used that may be or may I'm still not good at it. So last time we've already discussed MS Word and a few techniques that we may find useful if we're creating research. Last time we've already discussed how to create simple table of contents. We've already did the reference list and a lot more using stylings. But now naman, we're going to get a little more analytical. We're going to get a little bit more mathematical. So mathematicians tayo today. We're going to use an application that is very simple, very it's very familiar to us. However, hindi natin siya masyado nagagamit kasi akala natin mahirap siyang gamitin. But actually, MS Excel is very simple to use. Microsoft Excel is not just used by teachers. It can be used by anyone and basically everyone. You're doing accounts, hindi lang accountant ang gumagamit ng MS Excel. You're doing grades, hindi lang teachers ang gumagamit ng Excel, hindi lang business people ang gumagamit ng Excel. Anyone can make use of Excel in their everyday lives. Particularly, we're going to do computations that involve basic operations lang naman. So, now, let's start with MS Excel. Okay, so number one, what we need to first discuss is what are the difference between worksheets and workbooks. So, I've already uploaded the file that we're going to explore today. So, pwede siya download and then yun yung gamitin natin. So, pwede natin siyang gawing guide for the tutorials. So, usually nalilito sila anong pinagkaiba ni worksheet at saka ni workbook. Always remember, if you have, open your document with you, always remember, the area that you are actually working in is the worksheet. Kung saan ka gumagawa sa nag-i-input ng numbers, that is what we call a worksheet. However, a workbook naman is just simply your document. Kumbaga, it's like your main Word document and a worksheet is just a single page of it. Think of it like a folder na maraming files sa loob. Diba usually, naglalagay din tayo ng earmark, parang ng bookmark, para mas madaling mo organize. We can do it in Excel. So, for example, if teacher or Sir Kenmar or your boss told you to create a new workbook, you have to click on Control-N to create a new document. But if someone told you that you just need to insert it on a different worksheet, just have to click on the plus button below, click a new worksheet. Sheet names can also be customized. Just right-click, click on rename, and then click on name. Say worksheet 1. You can also change its color by clicking on tab color and then click on what color do you like, and then pwede siyang palit-palitan para mas organized, mas madaling makita kung nasa ang worksheet ka na. So that is the difference between the worksheet and the workbook. The workbook is a file that you're actually saving. Number 2. Now, let's try to understand what are formulas naman. So, formulas, in the real world, ginagamit natin siya, diba, to solve equations. But in Excel, pwede pala tayong gumamit ng formula para mas madaling mag-compute ng mga cells. So, this will be very, very easy for as long as alam natin yung PEMDAS. MDAS lang muna tayo today. I'm not a mathematician. Okay, now, I have here different formulas. So, baba ko lang dito yung camera ko. I don't think it's useful. Okay, now, I have here sample formulas, and then, here are the symbols that we are going to use. We've already discussed that formula should always start with an equal sign, so we have to take note of that. But, usually, pinapractice pa natin yung sarili natin how to use formulas by typing in, by knowing the cell name of the cells that you want to be added or subtracted, ganyan. But actually, we can just simply click on the cell that we want to be part of our formula. Now, For example, we are adding. I have here, delete ko lang ito. Right, ayan. Delete ko lang yung, hinide ko lang yung cell na yun. Now, we've already discussed how to properly distinguish the name of a cell. It's just the column letter and then the row number. But, pwede mo na lang tingnan here sa name box kung ano yung name ng cells nila. So, we have here your values 1 in column F, your values 2 in column G, and then the answers will be inputted on column H. So, let's try to insert numbers that are very simple lang muna. Yung kaya nating manual. Say 200 and 100. So, pwede naman siyang i-manual, pero paano kapag kagaya ng example on top, na-complex na or malalaki na yung values. So, again, we're adding, so we're going to use a cross symbol. For the add symbol, let's just try to start with an equal sign. Click on the values that you want to be added, the first value, and then the addition sign or addition symbol, and then second value, and then hit enter. And then automatically, it will adjust. Yeah, it will be added. So, that was a very lucky number. So, 99999. So, let's try naman subtraction. Quite the same din naman. Let's try to highlight this part para alam natin. So, here for subtraction naman, we're going to use the dash. So, let's try 100 again. And then, say a very random. Copy ko 43. Equal sign. First value, and then dash. And the second value. Yeah. Don't worry guys pala kung negative yung gusto nyo mga makuwang sagot. So, actually, Excel can do that for you. Pwede siya mag-output ng negative numbers. For multiplication naman, we're going to use the asterisk symbol. So, let's try to insert a large number. Let's say 12,345. Let's try to multiply it by 5. Para mas malaki. So, again, equal sign. The multiplicand. Am I saying it correctly? So, yun. So, and then the asterisk. And then, the second value or the multiplier. I know my math. Hit enter. And then, automatically, it will again adjust for you, huh? So, division naman, we're going to use the slash. So, yan. Say, 10,000 divided by, let's say, 20. So, equal sign, first value, dividend and divisor. Tama ba? Then, here. So, automatically, again, can be adjusted. So, lastly, caret. So, carets naman are actually very good symbols to use. It actually indicates an exponent. Yung superscript nasa taas. 2 to the second power, 2 to the third power, ganyan. So, instead of multiplying it to itself numerous times, we can actually make use of a caret symbol to be able to indicate an exponent. Let's say, 10 to the second power, instead of dividing it to 10, pwede tayong gumamit ng caret symbol. And here. So, it will adjust to itself depending on, yan. Ganyan lang siya kadali. Now, we are finished with formulas. So, clap for ourselves. Yehey, yehey. Now, let's go with functions naman. Functions are very easy to understand. Functions are just predefined formulas. It's just a formula that is already set up for you. You're just going to basically input the values that you want to be evaluated. And there are a lot of functions in Excel. Now, just to show different functions, so where are they? Always remember, your selected cell, dun lalabas or dun mag-appear yung output ni function. So, where's the function button? It's here, right beside your name box. So, yung FX button or insert function button, a new window will appear in which a lot of functions will be available for you. So usually, ang una nyo makikita is yung most recently used or yung mga usual na nakikita or usual na nagagamit yung functions. But it's very also important that we know that marami pang functions sa Excel and they are all divided into categories depending on what you're doing. Financial, date and time, you even have information here, engineering, and so statistical. So it's very useful if you're conducting researches and doing statistical analysis. So, but for now, let's try to make use of all of the functions muna. But we're going to use simple ones lang. So, here, let's say, let's use the average first. So, instead of using a formula to get the average of a range of data, pwede tayong gumamit na lang ng average na function. So, you just have to scroll over it and then, yeah, click on average, select. So, click on OK. Wala siyang lalabas talaga actually kasi wala pang values. So yeah, automatically it will adjust for you. So, that is the function. So, pinakita lang po muna ni Sir Kenmar kung nasan yung function button. But actually, we have a lot of functions in line. Okay, so going back, now, we have a lot of functions here actually. So, first is the COUNTA function. The COUNTA function is a function that counts the cells that are not empty. So, ibig sabihin, it's going to count all the cells that have a value in it. Whether it's a number or a text, a name, or basta meron siyang laman or it's just one symbol inside. COUNTA function is going to count it for you. It's very useful if you're going to count populations, you're going to count names, you're going to count data, and then you're going to count data in a very big worksheet. So it's very easy to just use the COUNTA function lang. Kaya siya may COUNTA kasi it's going to count characters. So cells that are not empty. So I have here values. So from value 1 to value 15. So what we want to do is actually to count the cells on the column A that have data. So let's say we want the answer to appear in this. So ito lang, highlight ka lang. So we want the answer to appear here. So let's say you just have to click on the function button and then let's try to look for the COUNTA function. You click on OK, you will see that they're called function arguments. Function arguments are just the values that the function needs to be able to output a result. So for value 1, actually you don't need value 2 naman. Just click on this button and then scroll over the cells that you want to be evaluated. Kahit na gaano pa ka dami yan, it is going to adjust the result for you. So click on OK. As you can see, nakita na rito yung yung tallied result. So pag click nyo yun, okay, mag-appear yung that. So automatically sa Excel, pag nag-delete kayo ng data, it is going to update the result for you. And mind you, dahil hanggang 400 yung cells na bibilangin niya, kahit na scroll down pa natin yan, magdagdag tayo ng napakaraming data, it is going to update itself for you. That is the COUNTA function. Now, paano naman si COUNTIF? Si COUNTIF function is it's actually the same with the COUNTA function. However, kay COUNTIF function, bibilangin lang niya yung cells that satisfies an argument. The COUNTIF function is actually the same with the COUNTA function. However, kay COUNTIF, meron siyang argument that the selected range of cells should satisfy for it to be able to be counted. For example, it's very useful if we are going to count, say, students who passed the semester or failed the semester. We're counting data categorically, shifts, kung sino yung AM, sino yung PM shifts. mas madaling magbilang if we're going to use the COUNTIF function. Kaya nga siya may if sa dulo. You're just going to count if it satisfies the argument. So, yeah. So we have here a list of students. We just need to count who passed and who failed. So if we're going to use the COUNTIF function, it's very easy for us to actually distinguish which of which. So click on the function button, look for the COUNTIF function here, and then there are actually two arguments or function arguments, the range and the criteria. The range is actually the cells that you want to be evaluated. The criteria is it can be an expression, it can be a piece of text, it can be a data that you typed in na kailangan masatisfy ni range for it to be counted. Kaya nga siya tinawag na COUNTIF kasi it is only going to count the cells if it satisfied the given argument. So, let's try to click here para pili natin yung reference data natin. So, kahit hanggang baba pa yan. Kasi kanina 400, umabot tayo ngayon 500 naman. So, and then, for criteria, we want to count the students who failed muna. So, the criteria, just to be safe, actually you can click on a cell and then choose failed and choose a cell that resembles the data that you want to use as the evaluator. Pero just to be safe, kung text yan or it's a piece of text, use a quotation mark, type the text, and then close it with the quotation mark again. Baka mamaya kasi magpalitan yung data dun sa remarks, mag-iba rin yung results. So, much better just type in the criteria if it's just a text. So, click on OK. Automatically, it will count the number of cells that has a failed result or failed remarks pala rather. Make sure nga natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now, let's try to count the passed naman. Same procedure. Count if. Where is it? Count if. Range. Same. Criteria will be passed naman. So, then okay, now it's going to count passed. Sorry. It's just passed. So, 11. So, for the total, we can use a formula na lang. Plus sign. Yeah. So, now that we've already counted them, alam na natin kung ano si COUNTIF. Next one, let's try to use the average. So, average is very important when you are computing data. You're going to look for the mean. You're going to check the grades of students. It's very easy to use the average function. So, I have other examples here. Pwede pa yan. Pwede nyo siya explore. Now, let's go to average. So, there are actually a lot of ways to do or get the average. For example, if you click here on the AUTOSUM button, on the drop down, you will see average. You will see a feature that will count the average. And automatically, again, sa Excel, there are actually functions that you don't need to insert the range. Excel is going to look for it for you na. So, just have to click on enter, and then, here, and then automatically, just have to drag it down. No need to repeat the procedure. Just have to drag it down hanggang baba. Actually, you can do it even if the cells are not or there are actually no data within the cells. You can actually make use of the drag feature of it. So, pag naglagay tayo dyan, let's say, bilang tayo ng dummy data here, pinitan siya, it will automatically update for you. So, so that is for the average function. So, but again, you can make use of your function button, but that is an easy one, average. So, instead of choosing it, you are going to have the same results lang naman. So, yun lang siya. Okay, now, let's try to move on naman with average if. Average if, para siyang count if. For average if, it's actually very simple. Para lang din siyang count if. Pag average if, from the word if nga, the function is only going to get the average of the cells that met your requirement. For example, a student has a set of grades and then you only want to get the average of his or her scores that got a grade higher than 75. You can make use of average if instead of creating a formula that disregards that specific cell, mas madali na gumamit ka lang ng average if. For example, here, yan. For example, here on our example, and we have your average column here. Lagay ko siya dito sa dulo para mas madali natin siya makita. Okay. So, you have your average, your simple average, and then your average if here. Now, I already highlighted all these scores that are 75. So, now what we want to do is for Excel to only get the average of student scores that is greater than 75. So, lahat ng scores niya na 76 and above, yun yung kukunin niya ng average. So, parang ano bang gusto natin mangyari dito? Let's say, parang ayaw natin na bumaba yung average ng student. So, gagawin natin, disregard natin yung mga mababa yung scores. Now, again, click on the function button. Look for your average if. Click on OK. And then, Excel will allow you to choose the ranges of cells that you want to be evaluated. Then, click on criteria. You just have to insert greater than 75. Then, click on OK. And siya. So, paano naman po kapag average? Pag average, it is going to affect the average as well. We're going to count the 75 kasi hilahin niya yung mga matataas mong scores pababa. So, yan. May 84.8 siya. So, we're going to choose between the two. Siyempre, dun tayo sa may average if kasi it disregarded your scores that have low scores. So, makita natin na mas mataas lagi yung scores kay average if instead of the simple average kasi dinidisregard yung scores mo na medyo mababa. So, yun si average if. Next one is AUTOSUM. AUTOSUM is very simple. AUTOSUM is very simple. It's just going to count a set of data na in digits. So, you don't have to create a formula for it. For example, in this example pala, in this worksheet kay AUTOSUM, I also make use of, you should also try it too, to make use of different, make use of formulas and functions in one worksheet para ma-practice tayo. So, for example here, I have number of items, essential items. Now, and then the amount, magkano siya, and the number of items, think of it as a very simple cash register. And then, you just need to get the total. So, yun siya. So, click on, let's say, for the formula, para lang makuha natin yung example lang naman siya. So, we need to get the total amount of bread first. So, let's start with an equal sign. Click on the amount. Use an asterisk. Click on the number of items bought. Then, drag it down. It's going to output the results for you. So, for the AUTOSUM function naman, you just have to click on this one. So, actually, nakalagay na siya. Tanggalin lang natin. Okay. Now, let's start. AUTOSUM, just click on this one, on the AUTOSUM symbol button here on editing. And then, select the range of cells that you want to be counted. So, ayan siya. Tunay. So, ayan. Try to adjust this as well. So, pag nag-adjust, automatically you're like using a regular cash registrar. Nakikita sa mga malls. So, that is for AUTOSUM. For SUMIF naman, this is quite the same with COUNTIF function and then yung AVERAGEIF. Ngayon naman, kay SUMIF, it's just going to add the cells that met your requirements or your argument or your criteria. Now, in this example, I have here quite the same example kay AUTOSUM, pero meron siyang discounted price. Ngayon, let's say, you will have two totals. One will be the grand total or your non-discounted total. And then, meron tayo sa baba, I've already inputted here, a discounted price naman. So, now, meron tayo, di ba kanina, list of items, meron siyang total here. Pero ngayon, mag-try tayo maglagay ng discount. Now, kay discounted, ang bibilangin lang niya is yung mga items na discounted. It is just going to add the items that are discounted. So, I inserted a new column here that has a discounted price label. So, now, what is going to happen in this, what is going to happen here in this cell is that it's going to count all the items na discounted lang. So, now, let's try to use the function. So, click on the function button. Go for your SUMIF. You will have 3 arguments here. Click on OK. And then you will have 3 arguments here actually. Range, again, is the cells that you want to be evaluated. Therefore, you need to choose the column or the cells na yun yung bibilangin niya. Yun yung i-evaluate niya. So, we're not going to select the discounted price yet. You need to choose the discount column kasi yun yung i-evaluate ng cells. Doon siya maghanap ng data na pasok sa criteria niya. Now, the criteria is lahat ng cells na merong 1% discount and above. So, greater than 1%. So, si sum range, yun yung mga cells na pag na-meet yung criteria mo, yun yung mga i-add ni function. So, hindi kayo babalik dun sa discount. Pipiliin na is yung discounted price. So, okay. Now, bakit 0 yung lumabas sa discounted na price? Tama. Now, okay. Now, 0 yung lumabas sa discounted price kasi wala pa tayong na-input na wala pa tayong na-input na discounts here. So, if you try to make this 10%, automatically, it will be adjusted. So, let's say 10% din here. So, this one is 20%. So, maybe 20 rin, 25, 50. May nakaligtaan tayo. Let's say this is 5%. 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. 5. Yeah. So, you will have a discounted price that is lower than your grand total. But then again, if you remove the discount here, it will only count the cells that have discounts in it. So, ganun siya kadali. Ayan. So, these are just a few basic functions and formulas that we can make use of Excel. So, and I also have a lot of examples here that you may find useful. So, you can explore. So, by next meeting naman, we're going to make use of Microsoft PowerPoint naman. We're going to create simple animations, creating presentations, how to insert transitions easily, and a few image and design principles as well. So, with that, thank you very much and goodbye. See you next week.